and welcome to all you Scorpios out there. Welcome! How are you after that eclipse in your sign? And no eclipses for December. It's the last month of the year and it's a totally different flavor, I guess. And some really interesting stuff going on with two planets that are going to transit a certain sign for way longer than normal, and one of them is your ruler, so it's going to be very important for you, and I think you're gonna like it because it's going to be intense. What is going on? Let's start with that. So Mars, which is in traditional astrology your ruler, together with Pluto for the modern astrology, Mars is going to enter Libra, and that is just a sign before Scorpio, so it's your 12th house, which is a very hidden water house, and Scorpios like that. They like to understand what is hidden, and they're not afraid of that, to enter those realms. Now, Mars is normally in a sign approximately 2 months, but it's going to stay there in that 12th house in Libra for 8 months, around 8 months. So that is an enormous long time. And for everyone, it reflects that for everyone, there is a particular area of life that is enormously accentuated, and that people are going to put a lot of effort in. And for you, it's that 12th house. Now, first of all, something about Mars in Libra. So Mars in Libra is not really strong when it comes to dignities. And that wants to say, because Mars is the ruler of Scorpio and ruler of Aries, and this is a planet of action, and it really likes it. Taking the action, going straight forward. For Aries it's very fiery, and for the Scorpio it's going very deep and but really working hard, maybe more on an introverted level, you could say. Now when it is in the sign of Libra, it is in its opposites. So it is in the sign of Venus actually, which shows that Mars, which is you, will have to consider other people, will have to take into account opinions and all of that of other people. So they will have to reflect on that, think about that. It's something that Mars really doesn't like to do. Mars doesn't want to think, oh, is this the best option, or is this the best option, let's rethink again. Mars really doesn't like that and gets really, really impatient. So, but be aware of the fact that you are now, for the next 8 months, in an energy of more taking into consideration different options. And as I said, it's in your 12th house, so it's in a house that it's in the activity that you are going to do. It's not going to be open for other people. So you're going to work behind the scenes, you almost could say. You could do things in secret, and I hope they're positive things in secret. But maybe it has to do with work, that you are doing something that needs quite a while to prepare, and then you will show the world what it's all about when the timing is right, after Mars goes into your first house, which will be later on next year, and then you will be able to show what you have worked on for so long. But I think for most Scorpios, especially with those who have an ascendant in Scorpio and have Mars in that 12th house, for most of you it will just be hard work on your unconscious reality. And I think Scorpios like that, because Scorpio is a sign that always wants to learn more about themselves. It's a sign that already knows quite a lot about themselves in comparison with other signs. They're not afraid of seeing their own shadows and everything. But it's going to be a time now that they really are going to work hard on that. they will want to know more about their blind spots. And maybe other people are going to say, hey, this is your blind spot here. And you're not going to react, but on an inner level, you are going to work with that and trying to understand why you do the things you do that you don't like about yourself. It also has to do with patterns of behavior that are not really working for you anymore. So there is an opportunity for a change. And with the Mars there going retrograde as well next year in that house, it shows that you're going 2 steps forwards and then you're going 1 step back again. So that's the retrograde. Not a bad thing, but it demands more time and energy to change what you want to change in that 12th house that I just talked about. So really deep, it can make you a bit restless, maybe a bit more dreaming or having strange dreams, and watch those dreams or just try to write them down or try to remember them and work with them. What are they trying? What is your unconsciousness trying to tell you? Often we really find clues there. And for you, it is a time that you can find clues about yourself, how you really are, and how you really don't want to see yourself yet, but you will eventually. What else? Well, there is also a very nice Jupiter trine with Saturn, and that is for everyone, and especially in the 2nd week of the month. So you will have Jupiter, which is in Cancer, in your 5th house, trining the 9th house with Saturn there. What am I saying? No, your 1st house, Saturn, your 1st house. I felt it, but I was not saying the truth. So Saturn in your Saturn in your 1st house is going to relate very nicely with Jupiter in your 9th house. So what is this? It's your belief system. It's you and how you see the world in a bigger view. And it's going to be more in balance than it was used to be. So with having Saturn in your 1st house for Scorpios, it's quite tough because it structures you. It demands of you to put a lot of effort in you, in structuring yourself, in working hard probably for a lot of Scorpios. And this trine now with Jupiter in the 9th shows a bit more of a softening and a bit more of a balance between the old and the new. So there is understanding of the old you and the new you, which is really trying to show itself with Saturn there in your 1st house. So there will be more, you will feel more peaceful, to put it in other words, during the first 2 weeks of December, which is nice as well. A very huge emphasis on your 3rd house for the whole month, and also because Venus is in Capricorn already from November, and it's going to stay there as well very long, up until April. So you're going to have Venus for there up until April in your 3rd house of communication, of brothers and sisters, of new things to learn. So it's really nice to have Venus there. It shows that maybe you're going to get along a bit better with your brothers and sisters if the relationship was not really that well. And maybe there is going to be a new start as well around New Year's Eve, because there's going to be a new moon in that house. The sun and the moon are going to conjunct, and also very close to Pluto. So it's a powerful beginning, New Year's Eve, for all of us, but for you especially in your communication sector. So maybe you're going to change your way that you communicate. You're going to shift it, change it drastically. And probably it's going to be more soft, not softer, because I know that Scorpio is not really about softness, but it's going to be more gentle, let's put it that way, and more classy, more stylish, because it's in Capricorn. So in everything that you learn and that you gather information, there will be more, maybe you're going to enjoy more how you get information, or enjoyment, finding enjoyment by reading or by writing or by just communicating with other people in your neighborhood, because the third house is also the neighborhood, or learning something new that has to do with Venus. Maybe a makeup course, or maybe a writing course, or maybe whatever. But so a very interesting month, especially because those planets like this Venus in Capricorn is staying there for a long time. It shows that you are going to spend a bit more time when it comes to your communication, and reflecting on it and changing it in a more gentle way, as I just said. So very interesting for you Scorpios. Wishing you all the best with it. Around Christmas time, there is, if you are celebrating it, there's the Moon and Mars conjunct each other. So you are Mars, and the Moon is emotion. So maybe you're going to be a bit more emotional than normal, which is not really strange, is it? When people who normally don't see each other that much are going to come together, you know, with families or friends or relatives. It can be a bit of discussions there, but I don't think that will be too difficult, because you've got Venus in your third house, which is, you know, the way you communicate is quite nice. And it is, again, maybe more on a subconscious level that you are going to feel a bit, you know, emotional, but you're not going to show it. That's how Scorpios do it, don't they? Wishing you all the best for the month of December. If you want a reading, I have done a special offer. Just check it out on my website. And it's the time of the year, I guess, if you want a reading for maybe what's coming up for 2014 for you, your unique horoscope, because these, of course, are very general horoscopes. Thank you anyway for listening, and wishing you all the best for 2014. Bye bye.